has undertaken an investigation into not just the methods Napoleon adopted in his quest for power, but how he employed that power as much for the good of the sans-culottes as for the perpetuation of the Bonaparte dynasty. In this study, William Nestor makes his case by quoting Napoleon's very own highly revealing words. The Corsican Napoleon struggled to master the French language. His spelling was poor and his handwriting barely legible. Yet William Nestor has found and pieced together a huge number of the great man's words and those ascribed to him by others. For those unfamiliar with Napoleon and his place in history, who are looking to understand how the son of an Italian lawyer from an island in the Mediterranean became the emperor of the French and the most feared as well as the most admired man in Europe, there is no better place to look than in here. For those who know that story well, this book is a lavish indulgence, an opportunity to luxuriate in the sharp phrases and the sharp tongue of Napoleon Bonaparte. John Grehan, Storrington, October 2019. Introduction. Napoleon and the Art of Power. I was never truly my master, but was always governed by circumstances. I was never so foolish as to want to twist events to my system, but instead adapted my system to unforeseen events. The most beautiful title on earth is to be born French. I want to raise the glory of the name France so high that it will become the envy of all nations. I wanted deeply to plant our doctrines, our administration, and our codes for Europe's regeneration. I had vast and numerous projects, all calculated for the well-being of humanity. I have been condemned for having an iron hand, but that ignores my goal. A statesman's heart must be in his head. The essential secret of lawmaking is knowing how to draw support, even from those one intends to regulate. A prince's first duty, without doubt, is to do what the people want. But what the people want is nearly never what they say they want. Men who have changed the world have never succeeded by winning over leaders, but always by moving the masses. The first way is by resorting to intrigue, and only leads to secondary results. The second way is the march of genius, and changes the face of the world. When I wanted to set aside an issue, I closed that drawer and I opened another. They did not at all mix, and it did not at all fatigue me to go from one to another. I reflect philosophically on the times when I had to do the work of Providence. I truly see how often luck entered into the destinies of those who I governed. Peace is an empty word. It is a glorious peace that we want. To conquer is nothing. One must profit from the success. The art consists in making one's success in war pay for itself. I lend as much to a manufacturer as his number of workers, because they are going to be without work. The vital consequence of this loan must be that the manufacturer stays in business. Diplomacy is inseparable from war. I think that you understand my system of war. England this year borrowed $1 billion. We must exhaust their expenses. The smallest circumstances can lead to the greatest events. The truest truths are so hard to obtain for history. There are so many truths. Power is the ability to get what one wants. One's power rises with the scale of one's ambitions and the ability to realize them versus others with conflicting ends and means. That is the conscious assertion of power. Then there is unintended power, like the sort